Unlike Monday in Boston when the company taped the Super Tuesday special Raw tag match after the show went off the air, a day later with the benefit of SmackDown being a taped show saw them putting on the SmackDown match before the TV taping, with Benoit vs Eddie vs Edge in a three-way placed to open the night, with all three also scheduled to work the top two matches of the TV broadcast over the next 2 hours. The heavily hyped No Mercy Tag Titles rematch was set to headline SmackDown on November 7 , with the challenge for Angle, Benoit, Edge and Mysterio to replicate the all-time great performance from the pay-per-view in front of the much bigger audience on network television, opening with Noble and Nidia vs Kidman and Torrie tag match going 5 minutes over the first quarter, along with a recap of the show closing show vs Lesnar Angle from last Thursday, and with the show featuring the mixed tag match in the opening quarter, followed by mostly a series of backstage skits in the second, for whatever reason with no major star power promoted segment ahead of time other than perhaps curiosity for the show from the previous week, either from Monday's Raw or last Thursday's SmackDown. On the way to Survivor Series, SmackDown's first half hour on the night opened huge, already at the 6 million viewers range, making it the most watched opening for the brand since the SmackDown after WrestleMania 18 on March 21, in an almost unexplainable spike on the recent average to near peak period level opening viewership, with general competition on television in the 8 to 8:30 p.m. time slot on the night giving no indication as a potential reason, with Friends and Survivor both drawing bigger than usual audiences totaling over 46 million viewers, including a special extended 1-hour episode of Friends going from 8 to 9 p.m., with one possible theory being SmackDown actually being boosted by more potential TV viewers being available on the night, outside the promoted tag titles match, seeing the second top match being set up next, with the first Eddie vs Lesnar singles match booked for the main event. Rikishi vs Cena opened the second half hour with the show after the massive opening viewership continuing to climb with every quarter throughout the first hour, setting up what in recent weeks turned into the two top drawing angles on the show in segments placed to go back-to-back over the next 20 minutes. First with Al Wilson after hyping a major announcement to Torrie and Dawn Marie coming out for his first appearance in front of the crowd with the company in post-production, with the realization that the segment can turn into a train wreck, using the benefit of the taped show by instructing Taz and Cole to openly bury the segment in advance, seeing the announcers mocking Al's expected unnatural delivery on the microphone while calling for the segment to end, with the payoff of Wilson proposing to Dawn to set up another potential big drawing wedding segment with the huge billion chuck ceremony viewership still fresh in mind, followed by Big Show coming out to close the hour in a quick match over Matt Hardy, with a post-match message to Brock to see both programs continuing their drawing streaks to again peak the night already at the 8:45 p.m. quarter with over 6.6 million viewers, continuing Big Show's career resurgence, in particular with him almost overnight being elevated from a directionless mid-card player on Raw to now drawing SmackDown's most watched segment of the night in every week since debuting on the brand, with the first hour overall totaling a massive 6.2 million viewers, to not only make it one of the rare cases in SmackDown history where the first hour was more watched than the second, but also the most watched 8 to 9 p.m. hour in over 7 months. The tag titles match was placed to kick off almost exactly at 9 p.m. with Benoit and Edge working their second match of the night over an hour after the Super Tuesday match taped earlier, with Angle and Benoit vs Edge and Mysterio in a 2 out of 3 falls setup, given the chance to match their No Mercy performance that went down as one of the top tag matches in company history, going over 20 minutes of ring time through 2 commercial breaks in a match that between the entrances and post-match saw it going over 35 minutes of TV time in total, averaging over 6.3 million viewers for the entire duration of the match from 9 to 9:30 p.m., with Angle, who was working the match with a taped knee after being given a rare weekend off house shows due to working through back and knee injuries for the past several months, commenting on his recent injuries and the possibility of him making an Olympic comeback in time for 2004, saying that he will make the final decision in January in hopes that his knee fully recovers by this point, with him as previously mentioned since signing his new contract with the company earlier in the year, noting that he has an agreement with Vince McMahon on him still getting paid his downside guarantee while taking 18 months off the road schedule to train for the Olympics, with the idea that if Angle can make a comeback on the Olympic stage he will return to WWE with huge momentum as perhaps a bigger drawing attraction than ever before. With Angle, as with almost every interview done in the past year, also asked about the inevitable Angle vs Lesnar match currently targeted to take place at WrestleMania 19, saying that when the match finally happens, with hopes of it being WrestleMania in Seattle next year if promoted correctly, it can go down as the industry's next all-time dream match, the level of Rock vs Austin and Hogan vs Andre in the previous 2 generations, with Edge and Mysterio vs Benoit and Angle after each team winning a fall in the first 15 minutes, seeing a false finish with Angle holding the rope for the 3 count as a cliffhanger before the final commercial break, coming back for the final sequence of the match delivering the expected strong performance, with Edge and Rey capitalizing on another Angle Benoit mistimed spot on the way to continue their singles feud to win the tag belts, to a big reaction. With the Lesnar vs Guerrero main event still to come, with the company hyping the Super Tuesday UPN special set for next week at 9 p.m. in hopes of drawing a strong audience on network television as a promotional vehicle 5 days to the Survivor Series pay-per-view. SmackDown, after a viewing pattern rarely seen in show history throughout the night, with the show already opening with a massive audience before peaking midway through and sliding back to its initial viewership, seeing the broadcast not only spiking back into the 6 million viewers range but hitting a 7-month milestone on WWE television, averaging a massive figure of 6.2 million viewers for the full broadcast in the biggest audience to watch a SmackDown show since April, setting a new milestone for the 2002 to 2003 TV season to outdraw the hyped season premiere show built around the Gun in Palumbo publicity stunt. As while most shows in recent months peaked with higher viewership, the difference on the night saw the broadcast opening and staying steady at a high level for the entire 2 hours, to result in the average audience being stronger than usual, closing at over 6.1 million viewers, with Eddie vs Brock going 7 minutes in the final quarter, with Lesnar after coming out and working his first match without Heyman at ringside to further establish his upcoming babyface turn, going over to set up a major injury angle in the build to Big Show's title challenge, with him throwing Brock off the stage seconds before the show went off the air.